tatraiva tatraiva tava swarupam. Yatraiva yatraiva shiromadiyam tatraiva tatraiva padatvayute. All the dignitaries on the dais, Professor Ramesh Rao, the faculty of the college, and my dear students, all those attending this conference online. At the outset, I'd like to thank very profusely the Principal and Reverend Professor Augustine Sir for being with us through this journey of implementing some of our ideas and being very, very supportive. I almost feel Christo is like a second home for me. So very grateful to you and all your colleagues for that. It's been a very mutually, very enhancing journey for me, very uplifting being here with you all. Same with Kaveri ma'am, who's been very generous in approaching us in organizing this conference. At the outset, I'd like to explain the prayer that I said. Yatraiva yatraiva manomadiyam, wherever my mind is, tatraiva tatraiva tava swarupam. May the ideal, may the vision of the Supreme be with me. Which one? Anything that I hold is of value to me. Yatraiva yatraiva shiromadiyam. May I be humble enough to bend, to bow. When I bow, may I be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. May I be able to bow in humility is all that it means. As the young boy introduced, I am basically an Ayurveda doctor, trained in Ayurveda and Yoga. I was a teacher for about 32 years in the Government Ayurveda College, worked in various capacities, and political science is not at all my cup of tea. Very, very far away from what I have learned. So, but still, since it belongs to the IKS and since we have had dealing with the IKS, I'd just like to talk about some views of mine, not necessarily with state and administration in the light of Bharatiya knowledge systems. First of all, I'm very happily surprised to see the word Bharatiya knowledge system. It should have been generally Indian knowledge system, but the Bharatiya knowledge system actually speaks quite a few things. The word Bharata, apart from all the other meanings, means knowledge. So this is the knowledge of the land of knowledge. So that's how you can translate it as Bha, being light, knowledge. That's the meaning of the word Bha. Every word that you have in Sanskrit actually comes with a derivative. That is, there is a root meaning to it and then we explain it further. So that way, I'm happy to hear this. What are we trying to do? Are we saying this is a panacea for everything? Not at all. We are going to be very, very critical, very objective in understanding and taking whatever is relevant to present day India. Do we have examples in front of us? Very many. Nobody 40 years ago thought yoga could be a career to some people. Nobody ever thought Ayurveda could be, the answer for very many lifestyle diseases, not just in India or regionally in Kerala or some assorted place, but the world across. Today, ginger or ashwagandha is heralded over the world for their immunoprotective effect. And we have seen in COVID how these indigenous remedies helped us fight COVID. And given that we are the largest populated nation in the world, we should have expected a lot more calamities, but we did not, thankfully. There were many indigenous practices that actually saved us, that actually helped us overcome that. So, are there such remedies even for the state and administration? Whatever may change, man has not changed ever since he evolved on this earth. And as Professor Ramesh Rao said, probably we were here since 40,000 years or 8,000 years or I can't say 5,000 years. We have been around in this on this planet. Mankind per se has been around, Homo sapiens. So have we changed? Has our basic desire changed? No, we want to eat and we want to eat well. We still need the same air to breathe, water to survive. Everything is there. Has man's internal structure changed? No. If he had to chase an animal that day and that was his stress, today running up to your boss, meeting up the deadlines is your form of stress. So things remain the same. Problems might differ depending on the time and space of where we are. If it is, if the housemaid has to run and catch the metro or the bus to reach your house because your mother has to go to work within 8 o'clock, it could be something else for a youngster of 13 years that he has to deliver his project, and for an 80-year that there is nobody to speak to him. Problems will always remain. Can we expect an idealistic world? No, it's not at all a thought that can be there. It's like asking the sea not to have waves. Problems are bound to be there, differences are bound to be there. Amongst all this diversity, have we not survived? We have survived pretty well. Can we survive better is the question, and the answer is an emphatic yes. So long as we learn to respect each other basically, then there would be no problems. And if Indian knowledge system is going to teach us, it is going to help us highlight, understand, respect that diversity. India is a land which never attacked anybody in all its history. India is one place which has never moved away from its boundaries, restricted itself to where it is. If there was one word that can describe, tolerance. And if we are seeing many problems today, including those of political unrest or divorces or family issues, it's because of the lack or the collapse of that system of tolerance in family. And as political science students, you know it all better. Problems out starts from problem in here. The little problems gather stone, gather mass, and become larger ones. And has that policy still reflected somewhere today in India? With us wanting to become the third largest economy of 5 trillion, us being the fifth largest economy right now, having moved far from the land of snake charmers, where are we today? We are today a software giant. We are today the exporters of soft power like yoga and Ayurveda. We are today the AI manufacturers. We are not anywhere way behind many other countries. We still have some more path to walk. But with a population as diverse as ours, and I think the steps we have taken and the distance we have covered is really remarkable. And thanks to all of those who have led this country, many of them would have done what they thought was right at that situation. So what is it that we can do now is the question. How can you all take it forward? Tomorrow you are going to be policymakers. Many of you may become IAS officers with your political background, or become political analysts, journalists who are going to give the right narrative to the nation. So how will you structure your thought? How will you put it forward is what matters. Kautilya, there is a podcast that I heard, and many of you might have heard, but I would suggest that you hear to Sriram Balasubramaniam, the podcast of Sriram Balasubramaniam, who has written 2 books, Dharmonomics and Kautilyanomics. Very nice podcast with Smita Prakash, about an hour each, worth listening. He says Kautilya actually put everything under 3 buckets. One was a strong state. Once the government is strong, macro manages everything, then you have scope for wealth creation. Why do we need economy to be strong? Any strong administration, any state can deliver whatever it wants only when the economy is good. In fact, that is the idea with which we started the 4 Purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Dharma is the right way of living. Kama, attached to Dharma, is the right way of acquiring wealth. And Kama is the desire, the right desires that we get. My desire is not to harm my neighbor. My desire is not to kill somebody. My desire is to be better than what I was. My desire is to go build another home. Whatever. But it should be a rightful desire, and that leads to salvation. Salvation in the sense of leading a comfortable life, a normal life, a happy life, harmonious life. So the rightful way of living. So there he says, create wealth, a strong state, create wealth, and then what? And then he says sustainability. I would like to, under this word for all of you youngsters, sustainability. I'd just like to tell you a small story here. People my age, our age, were given, a lot of color pencils and papers to write. And we all wrote colorful trees, pictures, made landscapes, everything, and very nice. And then the next generation came, they also did whatever they had. And when the youngest of the lot came, and then they showed their paper, everything looked to be in black and white. And all the judges were very appalled. They said, why, what's happening? It's all in black and white. And then the youngster said, all the color pencils have already been used by our seniors, so we have only this black and white left. Are we in a sustainable world today? We have one river feeding the whole city of Bangalore. Even when we look at a city like Bangalore, we have high-rise buildings that have come. Have we planted enough trees? Being an Ayurveda Vaidya, I know what it is. In our text, it's clearly written, when I want to use the root of a particular tree, more so, not even the sapling, of a particular tree, I should have planted 2 of them and only then I can pluck one. We have something called the Dasha Mula. That is, Mula, as you know, is the root and Dasha is 10. When I had to pluck them, I should have planted double the number. Are we doing it? We are today using so much of all granite, the construction business is so much. Do we have enough resources to replenish them? Water. Okay, I'll start some rainwater harvesting, but what will I do with the land, with the sand, with the mud, with the ore, with the granite? Can I make them in my lifetime or in 10 lifetimes? Not at all. So are we being judicious in using? Are we doing it sustainably? Any growth should be sustainable. Politically, only political will can lead to this sustainability, and that is where I see state and administration in the light of Bharatiya knowledge, where sustainability is the the thumb rule that we must follow. Tolerance is what we must have, and what is it we can take from the ethos. What ethos can we take from the olden texts that we can nurture today and take them forward? That is the most important thing. People lived in a very, very organic way. The water they washed their clothes went and fed their own tanks or went and fed their plants. Today we have washing machines and we are draining everything off elsewhere. So simple things like this, how are we going to sustain a couple of years later? Not enough plants. So this is where we need the economics, the political system to actually go back and think in the Bharatiya way, where sustainability. In fact, this I would say is what is already seen in some of the Western countries like Sweden and others, where they are so conscious of the environment that they have a green space and then starts the other colonies. We have absolutely lost that. So it is high time we think about it, because we are not looking at, am I growing it? No. I'm getting everything else from the market. When I grow, I know I can't waste food. When I grow, when I manufacture, when I make. So self-help has come down. Politically, all these should become important. And can we have a policy to plant so many trees, or can the administration take it up more seriously to make sure that every house has these many plants? I'm just giving examples only from my field, but you can look at it from every other field like that. So there are ethos. When man has survived so far and all the changes we have brought in is in these 30-40 years, should we stop, pause, think and see what wisdom from the ancestors is relevant today? I think that makes Bharatiya knowledge system very viable. Knowledge, as Professor Ramesh Rao mentioned, is either you can have it in terms of literature, knowledge in terms of stored literature, or knowledge in terms of oral practices. India is known for the oral tradition, where we have passed on ideas from generation. If you have grandmothers at home who are actively still being grandmothers, they would tell you, oil your hair, do this, do that. These are the oral traditions which meant a lot. So we can't afford to lose them. We can't afford to look down upon them. This is what we need to keep intact, to be able to be sustainable, to be able to be happy, and to really make India the Vikasit Bharat that we really want it to be. With these words, I convey my gratitude to